music news blitz.
Welcome to Artist Spotlight. I'm Liv.
And I'm Maisie, and today we're talking about something a bit different. We're talking about the World Cup Final. So if you've been keeping up with England playing, last night we played the Democratic Republic of the Congo and we won 2-1. So we've been doing good so far. We'll just have to see how we hold up on Monday. But for the World Cup Final, for the first time in the 96 years of it happening, America is introducing a Super Bowl halftime show. Now we're going to see headliners such as Madonna and Shakira and BTS, and Chris Martin, who is the lead singer in Coldplay, is arranging and choreographing this 11 minutes show. So it'll be really interesting to see what happens on the 19th of July at the final show, how it's broadcasted and what fans react to it. So, Liv, what's your take on that? Do you think this is kind of a bad thing because it's new and it's never happened before, or it may be something that other countries follow in the following years?
I do think it's maybe a tradition that might carry on after this year. Obviously, it is more of an American thing with the whole Super Bowl, and that's just the way they do big events like that. But I do think it's a positive thing. I think music just brings everyone together, and it is a huge celebration, and it's something that people are enjoying, and the music will help them to enjoy that even more. So I do see it as a good thing, and I think it could carry on in the years to come.
I do think out of the lineup that they've listed, obviously Madonna is massive across the whole world, but for artists like maybe BTS, I don't really know them. Other people might not. Shakira, I think Hips Don't Lie play at a lot of football stadiums, but it's kind of a very different lineup music-wise.
Yeah, there's a lot of different genres because I don't listen to BTS, but I know who they are, and that is, I feel like Madonna and Shakira are kind of similar in a way, and BTS is very different. So I'm not sure how the lineup will go in that way, but I do think it's a nice thing to have different cultures bring into it.
I'm a bit worried about how at the half time they're going to be able to get it all out the way, and is it going to distract the football players from actually playing?
Yeah, because like, are they going to be? They're obviously going to be doing it on the football ground, aren't they? But then, like, they're not going to have like a stage or anything like that because you can't set that up on the football pitch midway through. But yeah, I'm not too sure how that's going to work. But yeah.
And it also means if you're watching the England game from home, usually they've got commentators going through what's happened, and then they talk to some football players. So if during the half time there's going to be the music playing, you won't get that. And maybe for someone who's not as inclined for football or something, it's quite interesting to find out what the commentators have to say, what everyone's saying about the players, but you're missing that to then listen to music. So maybe, and that's why I guess it's never been done before, because there is like a set way that the football goes, but now it's slightly different, and how fans might respond to that, it might not be a good thing in their eyes.
Yeah, I guess I view it as a positive thing, like a entertaining thing, because I don't usually watch football. I'll only really watch it at the World Cup because I do think it brings a lot of people together, and that's the reason why I'll watch it. But I wouldn't usually watch football, so I think maybe for really big football fans, it might not be a good thing. Maybe if you're at the ground actually watching it, it would be good because you've got all these people performing and it would be fun to see, and you can't really see all the commentary stuff that is usually on the TV. But for people watching from home, I'm not really sure if they would enjoy that, and instead of, or maybe it's going to be both, and I don't really know how it's going to work, to be fair.
No. And I guess it's not just the players and what's going on at the pitch. Sometimes the managers, something happens at half time, and then they clip to the manager speaking, or something that's not necessarily to do with the pitch, they won't have the space to do that now. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens in the final match. And obviously, it's not just the first game. The final match is a massive deal, especially obviously if it's your country going through. So it's kind of precious time, and you want to see what's going on. You've seen the run up of them playing, and now the final. So I guess we'll just have to see and wait and see what happens. You never know. Obviously, it could turn out really well, and they continue this on, and other countries do the same thing. So say, Liv, in 2030, we had to come up with our own lineup for the Football Final Cup. If you had to choose 3 artists, one being quite a current mainstream artist, then one being a legendary artist, and then you're bringing out a surprise guest, who would they be and why? So if we start with the current artist, who would you choose?
So I was thinking Sam Fender, because I feel like he's very mainstream. Everyone likes him. I've seen him multiple times, and every time I've been to one of his gigs, it's such a huge different demographic. So I feel like the people that are going to watch football, I feel like it's something that everyone could enjoy. And I think Sam Fender is just a very liked person, and his music is very popular. So I think that could be a good one.
Yeah, my only concern with Sam Fender, don't get me wrong, I love Sam Fender, but he is kind of a smaller artist. So if you were like, this is the World Cup, not everyone would know. He's not that universal.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he is gaining a lot more. Like he's becoming a lot more well known now. Like he's headlining a lot of festivals. Maybe that's just in the UK though. I'm not too sure. In the UK, he's huge, but other countries, I'm not too sure.
So I think for my current mainstream artist, I would choose Harry Styles.
Yeah,
He's massive.
I was thinking this, but then I'm also thinking, I don't know if this is a bad thing to say, but obviously, the majority of people at football is men. Like it is mostly men, and it's like I feel like men just have this weird thing against Harry Styles, and I don't know if it would suit the demographic.
You know what? But if the men aren't supporting the music, then the women can support the music. You know, at least they can enjoy it while the men have it on. And I feel like Harry Styles would do the World Cup final because it's massive. Like you'd be
He
crazy to part.
definitely would. Yeah,
Yeah, and I just think, would that not be iconic if Harry Styles played at the World Cup final?
it definitely would. Yeah.
So who would you choose for like legendary artist?
I said I would choose Paul McCartney, obviously because he's just huge everywhere. Everyone knows who the Beatles are. Um, I seen him at Glastonbury when I went like 4 years ago, and like I was like 16 years old, so I thought like I weren't really that bothered. I didn't really like know how much of a big deal he really is. And then when I actually seen him, I was like, that was probably the best performance of the entire weekend. Like it was so good. Everyone knows the songs, everyone can sing to them. I think it would be a great performance.
And is there a song that you had in mind that he'd play?
In my head, I'm thinking. I actually don't know what this is called. Is it called like Blackbird?
Oh yeah. I know the song.
I love that song so much, but then I feel like maybe a bit of a more upbeat one for the World Cup, probably. So maybe a more upbeat one, but I do love that song.
I feel like that would be just an amazing experience, especially because I think the whole of the stadium would be singing it back.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, I think it would be good.
I thought, kind of like a bit of a funny twist, the Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
Because and them to play, there's a song called "You Can't Always Get What You Want," and I think that would kind of be funny. It goes, "Oh, you can't always get what you want, but sometimes if you try, you get what you need." And I just think that would be iconic being played at football stadium. Obviously, all the teams have lost but one.
Yeah, that would be quite fitting.
I feel like a lot of people know that song. So if you had, it's very repetitive as well, so easy to get the lyrics, and just a whole stadium singing that would just be insane.
Yeah, I love that choice. Yeah.
And who would you choose for your surprise, like, guest?
I was thinking, this is a bit rogue, but I was thinking Calvin Harris. Obviously, he's a DJ, but it's always upbeat music. I don't know. I think Calvin Harris is a really big artist. I think even like mum and dad probably knows who he is, type of thing. I think everyone knows who he is, and his songs are really upbeat. I think it could just make the atmosphere quite exciting and good.
You know me, I love a DJ, but do you think a DJ, like the right place, is the halftime show for a DJ?
I just think with the type of music that house DJs play is the type of atmosphere of a football game. It's very chaotic and it's loud, and I feel like it's quite fitting in a sense.
I feel like it would be quite cool to have a DJ kind of headline a halftime show, because then there's less faff about getting them on, making a big thing
Yeah,
out of it. Whereas you've just got the decks and the DJ, it would be much easier to do that for the halftime and then something bigger for when the final finishes.
yeah, it would definitely be more practical.
Yeah. For my surprise guest, I this is so out there, and I know they're not together anymore, but how cool would it be if the Spice Girls came out?
Yeah, I would love that. I think
Like,
everyone would love
I think, was it the Olympics that they played in like 2012? The
that. I think,
Spice Girls. And it was massive, and they came up with cars with Union Jacks on, and it was just insane. Like, if we could get the Spice Girls back together for just one night to do the final cup, that would be like a night to remember.
I really think that is like one of the things potentially that could bring them back together as well. Because who's saying no to that opportunity?
Yeah, yeah. And also David Beckham is like linked to it somehow, so it's football.
Yeah.
So I just think it's an all-round circle. We've got to get the Spice Girls onto the final cup. I just think, and the Spice Girls songs everyone knows.
Everyone, yeah.
So you think you're at the final like cup, your team's just won, and the Spice Girls come out. I'm buying tickets for that, even if they're like £10,000. I'm buying tickets to that.
Yeah, yeah. Although that could be an issue as well, if people are just buying tickets for the final to see BTS or Madonna. You know what I mean?
I don't know if anyone's buying tickets to the final to go see BTS. Shakira and Madonna, but I really just think no one knows BTS. Maybe
Yeah,
it's just 'cause I don't know, but I don't think they're just not big in the UK.
they are quite big. To be fair, I don't listen to them, but I've heard of them a lot. They are bigger in other countries, but they are quite big.
They must be quite big in the States then,
Yeah.
if they're headlining it. I'm going to choose 3 songs and 3 artists, and Liv's going to tell me whether she will skip or save. So, my songs today are inspired by the football, obviously. So, for the first song, a staple of football fans, Sweet Caroline by Neil Diamond.
Save. Love the song. It is one of those. It's such a like what's the word? It's just such a UK song that everyone loves. So it's like a family party song that gets played every single time at like someone's birthday in my family, and it's such good energy for everyone, and everyone knows it. So
I think that when that comes on, everyone just stands up and you're singing together.
yeah, I love that song.
And then this is a bit more up our alley, Freed from Desire by Gala.
The actual song, I don't know if I like it, but the way it just creates an atmosphere instantly with people in the UK especially. That's what I like about it. But the actual song I'm not too sure on. But then again, I'll always sing it if it does come on. So probably Save.
I feel like the song, when it's played at a football match, it's not the same song.
Yeah.
You know, if it was played in a club and then it was played in a football match, they're just two completely different atmospheres, and it
Yeah.
just changes the whole song.
Yeah.
So for the last song, what about the Seven Nation Army, The White Stripes?
I love this song. I think it's such a classic. I actually like all three of those songs, to be honest. I think that is just, they're all just massive classics, and I think all of them would get played at a football match as well.
Yeah, I think because they are such staples, if we said we didn't like them, that would be a wrongdoing. Like,
Yeah.
when these come on in British culture, everyone gets up and sings them, and it's just kind of a part of who we are, aren't we?
Yeah. It's always good energy. That's what I like about them.
So if we get through to the final, Liv, will you be watching the World Cup final?
I will be watching. I haven't watched any games so far, to be honest, but if we do get to the final, I'll definitely watch that.
Okay. Well, fingers crossed, and hopefully we can get to the final and we'll be watching it. Stay tuned for next week's episode and see you later.